All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Kyle Goodrich, an applications engineer here at Snaptron. And today I'm excited to walk you through our latest innovation, the Sapphire T400 Switch Tester. Whether you're new to switch testing or upgrading from a previous model, this session will give you a full breakdown of what this machine can do and how it can improve your testing process. So let's dive in. First things first, what is the Sapphire T400? This is our most advanced force displacement measurement system designed for testing tactile switches, membrane switches, and any number of mechanical components. It gives you precise actuation, force, travel, electrical, and resistance data, ensuring your products meet quality standards. Who is this machine for? If you're in engineering, manufacturing, quality control, or need accurate, repeatable test results, the Sapphire is built for you. Now, let's talk setup. Good news, there isn't much. The Sapphire T400 ships fully assembled in the Pelican style case like this. All you have to do is pop it open. And as you can see in here, it comes with the machine fully assembled. It comes with the power supply, and it's got slots for any of the optional accessories you may choose. So to set it up, you'll simply just pull the machine out, place it on your work surface, plug it in, turn it on, and you're set to go. Easy as that. From here, you'll notice on the machine itself, you have a lot more new connectivity options. So turning around the machine here, we have two full-size USB-A connection ports on the side. On the back, you have Ethernet for network connectivity. You have your HDMI output if you want to use a separate monitor for interacting with the machine. You have your 12-volt power supply input. On the right-hand side, you have your light up power button, and then you have your 1 and 2 channel resistance loops, as well as an electrostatic discharge connection point here. And then from there, we have our, the key benefits that we set out to do to improve this machine over the previous model. Some of the biggest upgrades are we have a much easier way to adjust the head height up and down using this lead screw mechanism compared to the old toggle style clamps from the previous machine. Another key benefit is we have a much easier to use cable here that connects the measurement head down to the base of the unit. From there, we have maintained the the bolt pattern for the base plate so that any fixture, custom fixtures that you may have for the previous model will be backwards compatible for this one. Moving on down, we have our brand new 7-inch capacitive touchscreen down on the base of the unit at a 45-degree angle, which means it's much easier to use in terms of a ergonomic standpoint. Inside the measurement head, we have a much more robust load cell, which makes it much more durable and not so easily damaged to off-axis loading. And then from the software standpoint, the UI is much better. It's way upgraded compared to the previous model, much easier to navigate and generate all the data that you need. All right, so at this point, we're going to start testing some real-life applications so you can see this machine in action. We'll start off pretty simple. Right here we have a dome switch in a membrane here. As many of you are probably very familiar, it's simple construction, silver printed circuit with a dome switch right on top. So we'll go ahead and get started. We will first select the type of test. We're going to do a tactile test today. We're going to locate the plate. This is essentially just zeroing out the machine in position of space. It'll come down, touch the substrate. We'll load in the part here, center it up on the test tip, and all you have to do is press measure. It'll come down, measure the height of the switch, and it will conduct a test here. Now let's see if I have it in the correct settings. Already. Excellent. Maybe. Let's try it one more time. It's not liking me today. Let's try that again. Okay, plate. Cool. Test end, measurements. Alrighty. In fact, we will switch over to the style. So here we have an automotive keypad. Underneath, we have our traditional tactile dome switches here. So what we'll go ahead and do, we'll load this up on the plate here. Get a baseline height measurement and come down. Alrighty, and so what you can see here, if it might be hard to see on camera, but it did press down throughout the dome travel, or the switch travel, and it generates this curve here. So you see the forward force curve in blue and the reverse force curve in red. And from here you can deduce quickly on the side data screen here that we have a 36% tactile ratio, F max of 242 grams, and it gives you a bunch of extra data here. Now, what do you do with this information here? What you can do, you click the report button and it'll generate a PDF or XLS file of the data we just collected with all of the relevant testing parameters as well as the data that the machine collected. From here you can save it directly to the machine's internal hard drive after renaming the report to whatever you like. We'll keep it default for now. It'll save it to the internal hard drive on the machine, or if you have a USB connected into the side, it'll automatically detect that and then save a copy of it there. So it makes it a lot easier to move those files back and forth, right? So what we'll do here next is we'll take off this little testing tower. Won't need that for the next one. We'll lower the testing head down a bit, and then we will test a different product here. Alrighty. Here we have a avionics style control panel. There are a bunch of, I would say approximately 200 gram domes under the bezel here. So we'll lower it down, locate off of the bezel itself. And then we will do the same style tactile test on just any one of these keys here. It'll come down, touch off the probe, press down, back up, and then give you the data based off that. Same thing, you can generate the report off of that and save it onto the machine's internal hard drive. Great. So, and then what a really great use case for this is you can configure the machine so that if you wanted to go through and test every single one of these keys and have a pass-fail criteria on these keys, you can go through and generate testing characteristics based off that and completely quality control each unit as it comes off the production line. So what we can do there, I'll just demonstrate that real quick. We will go to the measurements tab for, let's say, force, for example. We will set a upper limit of 300 grams. Oops, 300 grams. If we can get it to work right. Oop. We have to change the nominal first. 200, 300, and 400. So what this means is that if any of these dome switches or positions test between 2 and 400 grams, it'll be a pass according to the machine, and it will show you right here if it passes or fails. This last one tested at 500 grams, and it highlights that characteristic as red as it has been over that upper threshold. So if we go back and adjust that upper threshold for Fmax to, say, 600 grams, it'll come back and it'll paint that as green. And then we can continue to test the different positions and see if these positions fall within that that threshold, making it really quick and easy just to distinguish between a good passing part and a rejection failing part. Continue on that, give it a couple examples. So exactly, you can see that that works really well. We'll turn that pass fail off here, since we will be moving on to a different product. So the Sapphire isn't just for dome switches or assemblies with dome switches. It is a all-in-one switch testing machine here. So what I have in my hand is a variety of cherry-style mechanical keyboard switches, which are, you can find them all over the place. They're very prevalent, but just to demonstrate that you can test multiple different styles of switches with this machine, we're going to throw that on here too. Now these are very different characteristically than your typical dome switch. So I'm going to change up some of the settings here to be more in line with this style switch. So I'm going to adjust the stiction setting here to be more in line with that, and a test. We're going to end on absolute final force of 100 grams, since most of these are at anywhere from the 40 to 60 gram force range. So we'll come down, we'll locate the plate. I might have to adjust the head down just slightly to give it enough travel. Right, and then we will measure from there. Might be able to hear it. Click, just like that. It'll go through the entire stroke of the switch, collecting all of the force displacement data throughout the stroke there, and then it will pop up your data here. Now, this is definitely characteristically different force curve than a dome switch, but useful nonetheless, and then it gives you a bunch of data to reference there as well. So we'll run it one more time over here. You'll hear it click as it goes through, and it'll complete the entire stroke of the switch as it comes back up. Perfect. So there's a couple examples of the Sapphire testing in real time for you guys. So that's what it looks like in action, and show you just how easy it is with the UI to go through the menus and conduct tests in a real life setting. Gone through some of the different testing configurations, as you can see. And just like that, we have all of the data that we were looking for here. So we've gone through that. I'm going to tackle some of the most common questions that we get here. We will have an FAQ section right after this, so feel free to leave any comments you may have in the call chat here, and we'll address that right after. First things first, for calibration services, there are a couple ways you can do that with this machine. We typically recommend that calibration happens at least once every 12 months or so. We offer the in-house calibration services. If it's easier for you to send the unit back to us, we can calibrate it here and send it back. Or we also have additional optional calibration kit that will ship with the machine if that's what you want. You can do it in your facility and not have to worry about the lead time of shipping it to us and back. For standard lead time on a machine like this is 12 to 16 weeks. However, we do usually keep 1 to 2 machines in stock on hand ready to go. So just feel free to call us or submit an inquiry on the website. We'll give you exactly how long it'll take us to get you a machine. Other options, such as customization for this machine, there are quite a few different customizations that you can spec this machine out that we offer. The standard load cell has a capacity of 5 pounds currently in the standard option. We can go all the way up to 20 pounds for those high spring rate applications. We also offer neck extensions that will move the entire force measurement head up an extra 3 inches or so. And then we also offer multiple actuation tips, so that the standard one is a 50 thousandths test tip. We also offer a kit that comes along with it for various different sizes so that it'll match your application perfectly. Other than that, we also can offer custom software packages to go along with the Sapphire that will fit in exactly your use case and your operational workflow. It just depends on what you need. We are very flexible. So other than that, I've been mentioning that this is a purchase machine, but we also do leasing options as well. If buying isn't an option up front, we have flexible leasing plans so that you can try out the machine before purchasing. And then that pretty much wraps up the demo. Now I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, like I said, drop them in the chat or reach out to our team after the webinar. If you're interested in getting a quote or scheduling a deeper demo specifically with your parts, I can definitely hop on a call with you and discuss customization options as well. Let us know and we'd be happy to help. Before we get into the Q&A, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. And I hope to see the Sapphire T400 making some testing, your testing process smoother in the future. So thank you very much.
Hi, Kyle. We got a question in. Can this machine move in the XY direction?
Currently, no. The Sapphire is not an XY movement machine, although we have talked about that in the past. We would love to make that a reality in the future. But currently, the Sapphire only probes up and down in the Z direction.
Great. We got another question. How are the resistive channels configured? And is there a lag when the device converts from PWM?
Interesting. Okay, so the first question, excellent question. So how the resistance channels are configured. Here we have the plugs for the resistance channel. The machine will ship with 2 resistance cables like this. All you have to do, plug them into the side of the machine with our twist locks there, and then you have your 2-channel here. Also, we have a high and low resistance reading. So low would be anything lower than 400 ohms. High is up to 10,000 ohms. From there, all you would do is take your switch, connect up your leads via connector, and then clip on to the leads here. And then from there, I'll give you a quick demonstration. You can see on the resistance curve, as you press the switch, the resistance drops. So it's full-time currently monitoring the resistance loop as it goes between closed and open. Just like that. So that's how it will work for you, and then it will also generate those resistance curves on the report as well as the force displacement curves.
Got another question. Is the machine CE certified?
Yeah, so we went through all the CE certification parameters with this machine, including electrostatic discharge as well as radiation emission testing here, and we did go through CE certification on this machine. So it is now fully CE certified.
Great. Can you change, there's another question, can you change a tip on the pusher, like adding a flat tip or a round tip?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see here, the removal of the tip is quite simple. It'll come either with a magnetic attachment or with a threaded one, and then I will grab a variety of test tips that we have here in the lab. such as this 1/2-inch flat plunger here. All I have to do is put it on the end of the test probe, thread it on, and then that's how you change your test probe. Another one that we have that's really interesting is our 5/8-inch rounded silicone tip, and what this is useful for is simulating essentially what the end of a human finger would interact with your assembly. So if you are testing a full product such as this and you want to know what that would look like characteristically with a human fingertip, that's a good option as well. And then from there, you just have to go into test configurations and select the test tip that you are using. Just like that.
And does the product have a manual?
Yes, the Sapphire T400 has a really great manual that comes with the machine. It will likely come on a USB drive just so that you can open up in PDF and view it that way.
Does the device detect local peaks when the dome starts to invert?
So for inversion testing, it will let you know that the dome has gone bistable and however it's not returned because the return curve will not generate since there's nothing pushing back on the force tip here. So in essence, yes, and then it will let you know the absolute force max throughout that force displacement curve before it goes bistable. So I hope that answers your question.
Rita, if that doesn't answer your question, just let us know. We can either meet up after. There's a gentleman asking if he could get a quote and how can he set up that conversation. Can you just talk through that process, Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely. So how we'll typically do it is you can call us anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and you can talk to either myself or one of our account managers, and we can go through your exact requirements, and then we can generate a quote from there. Or if you'd like to submit an inquiry on the website, and we can interface that way, get back to you with an email quote, and move from there.
Does this machine available through other distributors?
Currently, it is either self-distributed through us, or we also do have a distribution partner called Norman Tool, who also distributes this machine.
Great, thanks, Kyle. What is the maximum measurement frequency of the resistive measurement to detect irregularities during the button actuation?
So as far as I am aware, the polling data rate comes from the inside linear actuator. So it is a stepper motor linear actuator that comes and delivers the actual displacement. And then at every step of that stepper motor, which is, if I remember right, every 100th of a millimeter, it will take a polling sample at each one of those steps. So as you can imagine, that's quite a high frequency of pulling as it's going through the force displacement measurement process, and that's also as it's collecting the resistance loop as well. They are collected at the same time.
Henry is asking, how easy is it to do the calibration?
Well, that'll depend on which part of the calibration that you're going through. There's two steps to it. Either you have the resistance calibration, in which case we ship the machine with a resistance decade box, if that's the additional accessory that you go with, and then you will calibrate in the machine the resistance level of the decade box to the red resistance through the resistance loop here. And that's how you do the resistance loop. For the force calibration, the additional calibration package that we have offers 3 NIST certified weights that you will hang off of the included teeter-totter force displacement calibration tool, and that will put a calibrated amount of force on the load cell, and then you will tare the load cell to the NIST certified weight that's on the end of the teeter-totter.
Great, thank you. That's all the questions we have right now. Oh, sorry, one more from Rita. Can both resistive ports be used for high and low, or is one high and one low?
So the number one resistance channel 1 loop is the one that has the option for low and high. So that's the only one that you can change from low to high resistance. And then channel 2 is in a perpetual low state, so up to 400 ohms.
Can the machine test touch screens and other types of um, devices like that?
Yeah, absolutely. We've tested resistive touchscreens with this machine here. Um, Theoretically, you'd be able to test capacitive touchscreens as well, as long as you have a test tip that is compatible with the capacitive touchscreen, it will let it actuate that way. So, yes, to answer your question.
Is there any other questions? I think that's it, Kyle.
Alrighty. Well, I want to thank you all again for joining in with me live today and exploring the Sapphire T400. Again, if you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call or submit an inquiry to our website. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions and, like I said, set up a custom demo for you if that's what you like. So, thank you again, and hopefully we'll see you on the next webinar. Appreciate it. All right.